For the last few years, when someone has said affordable new construction in Sugar Land, they actually meant Richmond or Rosenberg, but not today. Today, we have two builders that you guys seem to enjoy on this channel, from Taylor Morrison and Pulte Homes in Ryehill in Sugar Land, not Richmond, Rosenberg, actual Sugar Land. These homes over here have Sugar Land addresses. You're from some of the classic neighborhoods within 10 to 15 minutes of some of the more classic neighborhoods that you know in the Sugar Land area. And for a while, the best that you could do over here was basically like a gigantic custom home. They ended up being a mansion, but not anymore. We have some stuff that's gonna be from the 300s to about 800 is kind of where you're gonna cap out in this neighborhood. And I wanna show you all that Ryehill has to offer. They also have a 55+ community that we might check out as well if they are open and ready to go. But that is what we're doing today. If that sounds good, stay tuned. All right, up first, we have Taylor Morrison's Vincent plan. 5-bed, 5.5 bath, right at 4,000 square feet. Shout out to my guy, Victor. I actually met him at Avalon in Friendswood a few years ago. And he is the main man over here holding down the Taylor Morrison fort. So it was good to see him reconnect. Shout out to him for allowing me to get in here and get this content for you guys so that y'all are one of the first people to see this beautiful neighborhood and this beautiful home. But let's get into the house. I'm liking the stats that I'm seeing. 5 bath, 5.5 bath, 5 bedroom, nearly 4,000 square feet. I should see and have everything that I want in a house with those kind of stats, right? I'm in the office up front with a little bit of storage, good size. Looks like if we go to the right, we have a good size bedroom with an ensuite. We love that. So for those guests that are coming to rock out with you, that older parent that's coming to rock out with you, they got their own little space up here. Good size closet. And with what we got, some linen. But yeah, pretty good size. Nothing too crazy. In terms of, I love this view, and I'm seeing a peekaboo of a little bit of a movie room. So okay, we already got questions answered. Do I have a movie room? Do I have my office already done? I love the swoop of this stair. I don't know if I've ever seen a shape with this kind of exposure outside of where I actually met Victor all those years ago. They had a double spiral staircase that kind of did a similar sort of look and feel. And so it's cool to see this on a smaller product. I believe this is their 60-foot over here. And so it is cool to see. I love a good catwalk. Wish little Channy and Rissa were here. They love to strut their little stuff down a little catwalk when you got them. This would be your garage. And so this is that half bath that's in this little wing. Love that. I think this is actually gonna be like a 3rd car bay, I believe. They say no entry, so we ain't going in there. We have really big size laundry, so you could definitely have cabinetry in here. I wonder if you could do modifications to have like a sink in here as well, just because you have a really nice amount of size in this room. Little luggage storage. Of course, these builders want to say put your dog in the closet like that. I don't know how practical that is, but they all do it. And then it's doing the things that you big 2-story family home lovers love, man. It's giving you the tall ceilings, giving you the little fireplace, giving you a little slider, giving you a niche to put your table so it's not free floating. We have a beautiful wall of cabinets. It looks like we have a little butler's pantry also, which is beautiful. Love want to build us, and we got a good sized pantry, man. So if you're just treating this all like your pantry wing, you got your coffee bar over here, cabinets, countertop space, prep space. It's a place where you could put your crock pots and all the ugly stuff that you don't want on that pretty stone in the view of all of your guests. And so I think this is actually probably the most practical use of a space like this, even over a spice kitchen or something like that, right? I think having somewhere to put your blenders and your coffee makers and your crock pots and all the stuff you don't want people to see is always a vibe. Looks like we have a double oven and cabinets, microwave up there, cafe cooktop over here, 6 burner. I ain't mad at that. So they went a little fancy, and that is about in line with what I would expect with Taylor Morrison. They play in a space that is a little bit more luxurious, but they kind of do the thing that Toll Brothers does and that Tri Point does a lot here, in that they don't really like to play in really big neighborhoods. And so I don't really get the hugest amount of opportunities to just see and deal with Taylor Morrison. I sold a few in Mason Woods, but that was a smaller, more entry-level product. But again, that was with them and Tri Point. They kind of like to do this one-off, two-off builder sort of thing. And I don't know if it's just from a standpoint of they don't like the competition, or if they just like to be a boutique kind of niche neighborhood. I sold a couple in Avalon and Cypress. Yeah, some of their smaller stuff, I sold a couple of those. But for the most part, it's very rare to see them at this time in the really big communities. Now, from what I've seen, like a lot of the big communities that are still going right now that you guys know and love, at one point in time, they were like the anchor builders that started. And so like I believe in Ellison was probably the most well-known. I think they used to be in Bridgeland as well, but no more, right? They seem to have found themselves in this niche of doing their own thing. And they usually are the A side when they're in a neighborhood like this. So you're gonna pay a little bit more to have their stuff, but it is gonna usually be a little bit of a step up compared to the competition that they're going with, right? This is nice, really great size. Primary, love this big shower, love, love, love. I'm not a true peekaboo, but they looking at you. They looking at them. Everybody's still cool. You're just not right next to each other, that's it. Split vanity. And then we connect to a really nice size closet, especially if you were to put a closet system in here and do the uppers, you will still have enough room in here for like a little table, I would say. And it wouldn't feel really claustrophobic. So I think that this is a great space, and it is connected to the laundry that I showed you earlier. Way you handle your business. Let's check out this bedroom. I'm seeing 8-foot doors on level 1. So it looks at like in this neighborhood, you get 8-foot doors. I'll ask Victor if that's a standard for this product or if this is an upgrade. Great size room. I like the layout being kind of separated like that. Most of the bedrooms on plans like this, it'll be like straight out of the door. I actually love when it's kind of separated. Dope, but really big. You got enough room for another king size bed in front of that king size bed. It's a really big bedroom. And then you come out and you got your vibes, man. Okay, Vincent, hey, I'm feeling this little plan, man. I'm feeling it. So we got 2 beds down so far. Let's see what the rest of this house has in store for us upstairs, but I'm liking the trim. I'm liking the finishes that I'm seeing so far. The flooring feels like a luxury vinyl, but it's a pretty one. Something that I would put in a house that I was buying or building for sure. But let's see what we got. Really good size media room. Looks like we got an attic. It's in front of some furniture, so I'm not gonna do what I normally do and try to crawl into the attic and see what we got. Really good size. We got here storage or attic? Storage. Really good size bed. I'm loving the size of these bedrooms, man. Everything is just feeling really expansive. No galley closet so far. And again, for something that's gonna be, you know, 700 to 800,000, I'm expecting to feel that way about a space, but you would be shocked at the amount of times that I don't feel that way about a space, right? And they got a hidden little game room tucked off back here. Oh man, okay. Windows throughout, man. Hey, this is fire, hold on. This is hey, hold up. For a functional, like, family home, not going crazy, staying under 800K, 4,000 square feet. Hold on. A gigantic game room, flex space, homeschooling room. I'm really feeling this, man. This is, hey, yo. Okay, so we have, this is the cool kid. They didn't have a ensuite, but this is gonna be like their bed, their bathroom. They would kind of need to share it with this space. I don't see another bathroom up on this side. So that's kind of the one little critique I would have. My bad, Peekaboo crew. I ain't take care of y'all, my bad. I got you though. I got you, don't worry about it. We got peekaboos for days. Don't worry about it. I got you. I love how it does a little wing separation here. So I'm always a fan of a little corridor. We tour so many houses that are just like truly open concept, to where it's like no intrigue or mystery upstairs. Come off the stairs, you look left and right, that's where your stuff is. So maybe they give you a little pocket in a little hallway. I love it. I think I found a little chaining room, man. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so it looks like we got down to what, 6 foot, a little over 6 foot doors, 6'8" doors maybe. This one does have an ensuite. So I am a fan of that. Always a fan of having the bedrooms have their own stuff. Good size, and a good size closet. So that means this one has to have their own thing too. Another great size, seems to be about identical. So man, this is a really functional layout, right? It is not something that I would say is like super unique. You know, you've seen plans that do this thing before, but before today, I don't know if I would have had a plan in mind when somebody's talking to me. So like a weird, I guess you would call it expertise. A weird expertise that I have is like having, and I forget people's names, I forget birthdays, I forget so many things, but where I met people, so like Vincent, where I met people originally and the model homes that kind of like catch my eye. Now, when somebody tells me, hey, Aaron, I'm looking in Southwest Houston and I need 5 bedrooms, an office, and a media that just has good flow, has good countertops. I mean, not good countertops, has good tall ceilings like this one. I love when a home that is a big home gives me big home ceilings all the way through. I don't like slopes. I don't like any of the weird stuff that some builders will do. And now this is etched into the memory. I can't forget it. And it's not because it does anything just like spectacular, but it does a lot of things good. It gives you the tall ceilings. It gives you an option for the sliders, which I love. A lot of my people at this price point love. It gives you the dining kind of set off. Now this, for some people at this size, they may request or may want like a formal dining. Typically when my clients get to this size home, they want a formal dining just because they fancy, right? And it seems as though the little secondary pantry kitchen probably took the space of where that should go from this layout. But if you can deal with not having a true formal dining and you can deal with that down there, this is an outstanding layout. Great cabinet space, great countertop and prep space, nice pantry, especially if you consider that whole room to be a unit. I love how this is extended out to have great size covered patio, but not eat up too much of the yard. I think this is legit an outstanding layout. And it pulls into that same category of what I would consider for some people that are looking at like, if you're looking at like a Highland Homes 222, maybe looking at like a Highland Homes 224, any of those things, there's not a lot of neighborhoods out this way yet where Highland Homes are building homes that are that big. And so if you want something that's in that same realm from a layout standpoint, you got something like this, looking on this side of the world, right? You're not too far from the little town center off 59 from here, probably less than 15 minutes at this point, because we're right off of, what's this, 762, I believe, and Crab River. So it's like legit right there. Solid location for people that actually want Sugar Land addresses. And then you can have something like this and stay under 800,000. Taylor, come on. Okay, so it looks like on this home, and I'll flip it around because camera being a little weird. It looks like on this home that they did add the media. That is the structural add that they had that brings it over the top. That actually brings you into 4,200 square feet versus the 39 that we saw up there, right? So the only structural add, which if we go by kind of what most people charge to add a media room out of attic space, is usually between like 10 and 15 to add it out of attic space, because you have to like restructure the roof above it. And that is what actually brings the cost. And then you have to do some more duct runs to bring ducts over there to cool that space. But mainly it's the reshaping of the actual roof line to accommodate that new space. And so you don't have weird little hobbit ceilings. But yeah, man, this is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And the Vincent plan it's up there. It's burned in there. And I'll remember that Victor was here. And so I'm moving him out of the double story or the double stair model and into this one as one that is a winner for somebody that's needing something at like 38 to 4,000 square foot. I think this is going to be a good fit for them. but we should have a couple more to see. All right, now, about 3,000 square feet, 5-bedroom again, but it looks like we have stepped down to what appears to be about a 50-footer. Okay, so I'm always on the hunt for a beautiful 50-footer that gives you the vibes of bigger than its weight class. This is the page plan, and so I'm excited because this is probably the sweet spot of all sweet spots for my clients. Most of them land in that 50 to 60. And so whenever I can find a great layout for them, again, I just like to keep it in that Rolodex of memory of, hey, you know who has a fire 50-foot plan that is 2 stories that does what you wanted to do? Taylor Morrison. You looking in Sugarland? And then we just go from there. All right, looks like we have a half bath and we have a full bed and ensuite off the front door, so kind of similar to the bigger offering next door. It looks like we have a little bit of a hidden stair, not quite facing the front door, so I know that there are going to be some of my clients that love that because they hate how the stairs are often just like pointed straight at the front door when you come into a space. And this is also framed up about the same, so we have enough room to have that tucked away. Love that on a 50. We still got these tall ceilings that go from the front door all the way up and through. Looks like we still got a little bit of a catwalk up there, but I would imagine that we maybe lost a media room or something on this one. Or what do we lose? We lost an office. So the trade-off usually on a 50 is if you have 2 bedrooms down, we've lost that office, okay? And so, can you deal with that? That is a conversation that I have with people every week. Can you deal with that? Okay? Again, good cabinetry, doesn't quite go all the way up to the top. You got your quartz countertops, still looks nice, still a great amount of space. Nice little range hood here, but you go down 1 burner up in here, you still are gonna have your pull-out drawers and things. Underneath for that extra storage, looks like they holding that popcorn in there in this model for the snacks. But again, this is still doing the thing that you needed to do. And if this was the 50-foot home that man, good storage. This is actually about the same size as what they had in the other home, especially if you wrap it all the way back there, man. Lose a little bit of pantry, but again, the house isn't as wide, but it's still deep and wide enough to get you nice furniture out there. If you wanted to force it, I'm sure you could probably put a little kitchen out there. I'm sure you could force it if you wanted to. But yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking what I'm seeing. So this is about 1,000 square foot smaller, but does it feel it? So far, I'm missing an office, but how wide it feels, how tall the ceilings are, all the stuff that people care about in a home. And I don't know what Houston did to deserve this, but these love bugs is back, y'all. So if you building or buying a White House right now, go ahead and get you a pressure washer or something, bro, because this year-round love bugs is crazy. That's not something I thought I would have on my bingo card for this year. But year-round love bugs is crazy. Tall ceilings, again, you have enough for not quite a whole nother king-size bed, but definitely another little couch. We got full-size furniture in here. Feels good. I love the coffered ceiling. 8-foot doors again. So yeah, I'll definitely confirm with Victor if that is a standard. Shout out to Jasmine. We got the crock pot tub on here, and I would imagine that if we could do the standalone tub next door, that we would be able to do a standalone tub over here. Really great size shower again, where you handle your business, tucked off over there with the split vanity. Let's see what the closet's okay. So the two spaces so far that I feel like I've had the most drastic fall so far is that I've lost my office. My closet is a little bit smaller and it doesn't connect to my laundry room like it did on the previous one, right? So those are some trade-offs. That is not an uncommon trade-off for a 50-foot plan. It's probably actually the most common trade-off, is that these things won't typically connect. That closet gets a little bit smaller. Sometimes you'll even get a smaller bathroom. I think they did a great job keeping the bathroom the right size on this one. But are you gonna use this as an office in the meantime of not having someone be there, not having a guest? Or do they surprise me and give me an office and the media upstairs? We'll find out on this episode of Dragon Ball Z, I guess. But coming upstairs, we do have a peekaboo. I'm always a fan of a peekaboo. Let these people know you made it. Let these people know you got windows you can't clean, but you got somebody doing it for you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Room got a little bit tighter, but again, I'm a fan. Ensuite, so Cheney could have her own little room. Getting more to the galley style. That's what I'm expecting though, in a 50-footer. So it's not anything that I'm unused to. This game room size is great. Game room / classroom / flex space of how we would use it. I'm gonna have to bring Cheney back here so I can beat her down on some air hockey. And then I love, some people are gonna love, some people are gonna be like, man, this is too much access to having a loud house all the time, but that kind of comes with a big 2-story house. Most of the vibes that you like are because you don't have these big walled up spaces upstairs and you want this access, this peekaboo access, but trade off of that is it's gonna be loud, okay? They gave you a little niche over here and a little storage over here. For those of y'all that have been rocking out with me for, man, 5 to 6 years now, y'all know that I used to be in my little closet, and I got this channel rolling off of a space that was about this big. My wife helped me paint it a deep dark blue, and y'all start rocking with me in that little closet, man. So that's probably what I would use that for if it was like I just needed an office space. But if not, it's storage for the game room. And then we got a really good sized room and a really good sized closet. So they gave this one a really good sized closet. And you know you fancy when you got the closet that has a window. That's when you know you made it. But no ensuite. So my questions would be, could I build this to where everybody had their own bed and bath? Or for you as the buyer, if you were to catch it in this configuration in inventory where we would probably get one of the best deals, could this work for you? Because more times than not, the extra spaces that you would be seeking, that office, that media, that extra bathroom that everybody has one and doesn't have to share, those are the things that you sacrifice when you go to an inventory 50-footer. You're already coming down in size on that foundation. And so just from a space standpoint, there's just stuff you just ain't gonna get because you don't have the space, okay? And so can you deal with it? Is it something that you're cool with for the deal? And for someone coming into this, let's say you were like us and you were in the city and you were used to 1,700 square feet, 1,800 square feet, and then you roll into something that looks like this, absolutely, you're good, you're golden, sign, got it. But for someone that may already have experienced that suburb life and you're looking to, maybe this is your first home, because a lot of my first time buyers are in this like, I would say like 45 to 55 foot wide price point where you're looking at something that's gonna be around here, okay? And asking yourself, if I'm already in something that's maybe 2,000 square feet, but let's say I'm in something that's 2,000 square feet that has 4 bedrooms, but doesn't quite have the other flex or auxiliary spaces. You're moving to the suburbs to kind of get that sort of house, and this one doesn't quite do it naturally. You don't have all the spaces. You don't have that movie room that you want. You don't have that office. You don't have a formal dining. There's things that you don't have. And we would have to ask, is it worth paying up to go up to the next size footprint? Or could you make this work for families are living in houses now between 5 and 7 years? Could you make this work for your family for 5 to 7 years? If you could, this is gonna be a beautiful option. But yeah, this reminds me a lot of, there's a couple Newmark plans that kind of do this. There's definitely a couple Weston plans that have this similar kind of flow with the shared bathrooms. The only advantage that I would say I give Weston is that even on their homes where they don't have quite everything, they usually give you a media room, and so you feel like you're getting more because you'll say, hey, well, I'll just make that bedroom that nobody's using my office, and now I have this cool media room that I didn't have in my previous house. Okay, so that's probably the subtle nuance, but from a flow and functionality standpoint for a house at 3,000 square feet, it gives me what I'm expecting to see on a house that is this size, but on a width that is this narrow, and it does it really well. And I would love to call this home because again, it's doing 8-foot doors, great baseboards, tall ceilings, lots of natural light, is doing the stuff. But for where we are as a family and how we use our home now, that would be a downer spot for us, but maybe it's not for you, okay? But yeah, we're gonna go and check out what else is open for today. If they have, I don't think they have any amenities yet. We're still out here in Generatorville, right? You've seen the flickers probably 3 or 4 times on the video already. I'm nervous that the AC is gonna go out because it is hot as hell today. But yes, we're gonna go and check out and see who else is available for us. They do have a smaller model for Taylor Morrison, but I actually wanna go and show Pulte some love if they're open for the day, but stick with me. All right, shout out to Miss Ream for allowing us to come in here. We have the Gillette plan, just around 3,400 square feet, 4 bed, 3.5 bath. And so let's see if they do some things that, even though it's a smaller home, that I love more. I'm already seeing one thing. I love a split garage. I already know that my wife would absolutely love having a split garage over here. So let's see if the house does the rest of this justice, man. But so far, we got a little porch. I'm loving that. They gave you a door off of it. I know some builders that have done this that won't give you a door, a covered way to get in from out of that secondary garage. So I'm already liking the thoughtfulness of what we got. And we come into it. We got the tall ceilings doing things. All right. Come in, we have a good sized office. Looks like this is actually being used as somebody's sales office over here right now with a little bit of storage. And so now I'm curious to see if they went and did a media room. So looks like we have 2-car bay over here, 3rd-car bay over there. We got a half bath, that's a pretty good size. And this is legit one of the first 60-foot models that I've seen of Pulte, man, and I don't know how long. I feel like a lot of the Pulte stuff that I've been seeing around the metro has pretty much stopped at like 50-footer. That's been like the sweet spot that they've kind of held when they've gone into spaces. My last Pulte that I sold was in Mavera, and I believe at that point in time they had 45s and 50s, I believe. And it was one of those things that if you paid more for the 50, you get a bigger lot, and there were more things that came standard. And so you could, if you wanted a range hood and some of the more modern things, you had to go to the 50-footer. But if you were trying to save money and get the same plan, and you're just like, hey, I'm gonna do this thing, I'm gonna make these changes as I live in here, then you could go with the 45-footer and basically get the same. They had like 2 or 3 overlapping plans that you could do it. Good deal. I like how this is down a little hallway. I always love when a home kind of gives you, again, something that's just not the norm. You come in, you look left, and you see a bedroom. I love that this goes down a little hallway. We got the hidden stair on this one as well, so you can't even tell from the door that you are about to have a stair right there. If we come all the way back here, you just see a sight line. And I think that is good design. We have a similar kind of layout to where we have on the 60-foot, we got all the bells and whistles. We got the cabinets to the ceilings. We have built-in appliances. Really big pantry over there. This is a really great size island as well. Doesn't have usable storage on the front, but you got enough cabinets in this place right now. One of the biggest pantries that we definitely have seen today, for sure. But this is a really good size. You put a plug in here and hide those things that I was telling you about. I know a lot of my clients are doing that now. If they don't have like a butler's pantry kind of area or coffee bar area off, they'll put plugs in here so you don't see the stuff like this on the countertop, right? We look in here, we got the vibes. We got tall ceilings. We got windows up high. We're doing the stuff. This would be your normal walk in from your garage with a little mud area. And we got more storage here. Dining area in the back. And this shows you how wide this is for the table to be configured this way, just showing you that this is a wide space back here. I'm a fan. I like how it can be framed up to fit in this room of windows. Feels purposeful. So again, I would say that is some solid design, man. Again, we are still in the land of generators. But what you could do with your yard space, this one seems to be sitting back. Even though that's a much bigger house, maybe this lot is just smaller, but I'll say this one feels like it's almost sitting back further than the big house that we started the video with. But it might be just because they put all this permanent stuff in my viewpoint. It's cloud my judgment, cloud my judgment. But you come back in to your beautiful kitchen, beautiful tall ceilings. Hey man, I'm a fan. I'm loving everything that I'm seeing. Love that sight line off the door. That sight line off the door is crazy. Got some hallway turns. I told y'all how much I simp out over a little hallway turn now. Tall ceilings. Got the bump out bay window. Not a bay window. We have the bump out. It doesn't technically do the little you know the bay. It don't do the bay. We do have this bump out that I think is a must. If you're building that, I would suggest doing it. Add some drama to the room. Hey, wait a minute. Okay. We got a true peekaboo. You looking at them, they looking at you. Everybody's all right, man. Everybody's happy. So we got the split vanity. This reminds me of Perry. This has a very Perry-esque layout with how they have this bathroom minus the two closets, typically in a Perry. This would be off to the side. There would be a smaller closet there and another main closet to the other side. Let's see if, yeah, they got the space. It's a good size closet. They would have had the space to maybe have split it, but not quite as big as the other one. But again, that other house is about 1,000 square feet bigger. So to still have a closet that is this nice, I think is a win. We got tall ceilings throughout. I'm seeing 8-foot doors. I'm seeing nice trim. I'm seeing all the stuff, y'all. I'm seeing all the stuff. Now let's go check out the upstairs to see if the upstairs is bringing, if we're gonna get a little surprise or anything. Let's see if we get a movie room. See if we get another little flex space. Let's see what we get. And I see a little peek. I see you peeking out at me. I see you over there. All right, but first, Peekaboo crew, I got y'all, baby. Don't worry about it. This is a good one. Good one, good one, good one. Slide into this really nice game room. Is it open? It's locked. So that leads me to believe I got some room back there for the Julio special. For the Julio special. Game room storage, but yeah, I think this is a great space. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Secondary bedroom. Oh, this looks so adorable. This looks so adorable. Secondary space, beautiful. I would love to say that Channing could make it up here, but Rissa would find Channing on the floor every day because Channing sleeps so terribly. Oh my God. Man, that little baby sleeps bad. But yeah, this is adorable. Not too bad. I'll say that closet's a little bit smaller than I expected for a house that is this size. So let's see how the other bedrooms kind of shake out. This one's a little bit better. Yeah, this one's a little bit better. What about the closet on this one? Closet's okay. So I'm not in love. Sorry, I don't know what happened. I got this frog up on me. That frog is up on me, y'all. And I noticed that I passed up this bathroom, so let me go ahead and go back. So this would be shared for these two up here. No, I'm not a fan of that on a 60-footer, but again, it's wide enough. If they would have put two sinks in here, that would have been great, so everybody can have their stuff. Nobody has to share a sink or any of that foolishness that cause fights for kids around the same age. What we got over here? Another little pocket that I would imagine would be able to be like a little pocket office niche or something as an option, I would imagine. And then we have a movie room. So they ain't even tell me about this when I was coming in here, man. They ain't much tell me about this. Come on. I love it. Great size. Love that it's kind of off into itself. This is only a 4-bed, so you had 2 beds in the office down, 2 beds, a flex room, and a media room up. But this is a great size, man. I'm loving what I'm seeing, man. Pulte has been, I remember seeing one of my first like nice Pultes in Ellison, and I believe those were 50-footers. And that was just a really pretty plan. I remember seeing it and being like, that house changed my perspective of what I had seen from Pulte, because for the longest time, and still, I would say even still as a base, Pulte kind of does their own thing. They develop their own land. They might rock out with you like in a place like Mavera, where they'll bring on some more entry-level builders, but they'll be kind of like the A side. They don't really like to be in places where they're kind of the underdog. So this neighborhood mashup between them and Taylor Morrison seems to be like a match made in heaven, where they're kind of gonna do and try to do their thing, where they're fighting for the A side. I would say in this comparison of what I've seen, you get a little bit more, so you're probably gonna pay a little bit more for Taylor Morrison, creeping up into that like high 6 to 8. Where over here in the timeless line for Pulte, you're gonna be in that like 5, low 6. Okay, so it's a step. And if you were to say I need 4 beds, office in the media, this does it. So whether or not, the question would be now in this neighborhood, could I get this on enough of a deal to pass up on the 50-foot that we just left for Taylor Morrison? And based on the numbers that I'm seeing with this being like high 5s, maybe it's probably closer than you think, right? So springing a little bit more, maybe paying a little bit more to go into a 60-foot Pulte where you don't get that 5th bedroom. That would be the trade. Or if you need that extra space, then we would probably be forced to be next door over here or look at other neighborhoods. But from what I'm seeing so far, this is going to be nestled like just above that 50-foot Taylor Morrison. I think this is going to be positioned very well to get all the things that you would want to move to the suburbs for. High ceilings, nice sized bedrooms for the most part, a movie room, and an office. 3-car garage. These are things that people move to the burbs for, okay? But yeah, man, I like this plan a lot. I'm seeing little spots that you can do extra stuff with. I'm curious as to what is behind this here wall, if we got room to do something else back there. I'm very curious because I just spatially, I can feel that the bedroom is still going that way, so we still have something over that we could probably play with. And I legit like what I see on this one. Peekaboos, ceiling height the same from the door to the back. I like what I see. Like what I see. All right, now as we rock out and head over to the next model, I want to give you some of the stats. We're in Lamar Consolidated ISD. Tax rate is going to be 3.06, 3.07. And you have an HOA currently of about $1,250, and I think that's going to come with some walking trails. I believe you're going to have a splash pad and a pool here. I'm not sure if you're going to have a gym. I'll do a little digging on the sites that I have, but because this isn't like a huge master plan community that they focus on all the like website stuff, you have to go like bounce between Taylor Morrison's websites, which aren't the best, and then you have to bounce over to Pulte's websites, which aren't the best. But I'll get that info for you. I'll throw it in here. But I would imagine that it is going to have amenities because Del Webb will typically have all of the bells and whistles for them. So I would imagine that this is going to have comparable things over here for Gen Pop that the OGs, aunties, and uncles are going to have in the 55 plus. Okay, so I would imagine that you would still have all of that love. All right, so Lamar Consolidated ISD, 1215 or 1250 on the HOA, and we have a tax rate of 3.07. Okay, about 15 minutes from the town center, and this is a little bit more of a boutique. So this is one of those things you're gonna want to jump on kind of fast. I saw the phase map that they have, and it ain't a ton. Okay, so you're gonna want to get in here. Now there is land surrounding this along this, I believe it's 762 is the highway that is behind us, that's kind of running parallel with that train. If they were to get some more of this land, that would be great. And there's enough land kind of going up into, there's I think it was called like Deer Estates, several miles down that you would run into. But for a few miles there's nothing. It's just land. And I'm hoping that they get that, because this will be a great little extension for this neighborhood. But for right now, it doesn't look like there's a ton of lots, guys. So if you want to be in Sugar Land, you want to be close to the town center, you want to have an actual Sugar Land address, Lamar Consolidated ISD, not too far from amenities and commercial that are nearby, this is the time to do it. But now we're going to hop into their 50-foot plan. Again, sweet spot for the channel, about 2,900 square feet, about the same stats as the Taylor Morrison. Let's see if they do it better. All right. And last but not least, for the day at least, we're gonna do the Garwood plan from Pulte. See if they coming with it. Let's see. All right, so different. A little take on it. Let's get into it, y'all. Good size room. But we lost the ensuite, okay? So we talked about this oftentimes. Whenever we go into a 50, we kind of talk about some of the sacrifices that you're making and why I think it's a great upgrade for somebody coming from the city, and I think it's a great upgrade for someone that has maybe that one planning for that second kid. I think a 50 is damn near perfect for you, because you can kind of make adjustments, and you know, kids are younger enough to learn to share and be in the same spaces and kind of deal. But once you kind of get bigger than that as a family unit, it usually doesn't work as well. But I love the orientation of this. I didn't expect it to do that. I did not expect it to do that. Okay, and we got things closed up there. So are they going to surprise me with an office, a movie room, or something cool up there? Because you took away my damn peekaboo. Like I was giving y'all these peekaboos today, and they done took it away from me. You know, what am I supposed to do with that? So we'll see. We'll see if they give us something cool up there. Getting your range hood. Nice size cabinets, not a ton of cabinets in this one, but again, in totality, it feels good because it wraps, right? And then I see a really nice size pantry. Do we have usable storage on both sides? No, not on this one. So we just have a really good size island, lots of good prep space. Built-in appliances. We love that. Oh, laundry connects to. Now, isn't that crazy how they'll do that on a random 50 and then, and you're like, well, why didn't you do that on your 60? Why don't we have this all? Good size. They did actually have countertop in here. Probably not enough to actually have a sink in here, but good size. We'll see the other side of that as we go around. Good size pantry as well. Okay. And look, I'm not mad at the vibes and the view. You're here, you're entertaining. We've come in on the footprint, so we got free floating tables. I expect that in a 50. I'm not mad at that. We got a good sight line. It doesn't look like we have space for a slider on this plan, but it gets kind of weird on 50s in general, so I don't expect it. Let's go and check out the outdoor. Enough space for an outdoor kitchen, not the deepest, but it is pretty wide. And so you definitely have enough separation to be away from all the smoking. The grill master over there, you can have some separation from them. And something that I'm noticing, it looks like the Pulte over here, kind of similar to my last instance with Mavera. They had plans which should keep your prices down because you don't have to go and source all these things from like a design center with this, at least with this product line. I think the one next door, you still can have some customization. And I'll verify that with Ream. Usually the top of the line width for them, you get like a more hands-on experience, and usually as you come 50 and lower, if they have a lower footprint, usually they get the packages, okay? And they got some pretty stuff. They got the colors that people love. They got the naturals with the darks. They got the gray tones. They got the white stuff. So they got the stuff. Oh, good size room. Okay, so they did the bump out on this one as well. I don't know if I'd have put a desk in it big, but yeah, they did it. Really good size. I didn't expect this to feel this big in here. Super shower for my people that say, hey, I'm not stewing in my own juices, man. I'm gonna take a shower. You got that option. Tiles all the way up to the top. Looks good. A little bit more galley style on this one. So we got some cool things added. We got a connection to laundry, which is a more luxury design. We got some cool stuff, but we went down on this bathroom size. And you can feel that. Now, is it in line with what I expect for 50s? Yeah. As somebody that has a 45/50 foot product in most neighborhoods for Highland Homes, this is about what it feels like. I would say probably ours is a little bit wider than this, but it looks like they claimed a little bit more space for this super shower. So that's a trade-off. This size-wise feels closer to like a 45-foot bathroom, in my opinion. But then you do the cool 60-foot connection thing to your closet and laundry, and it's just confusing. But so far, I'm a fan of the plan so far, man. I cannot complain about this plan so far. Make our way. You only got one peekaboo on this one. You got the one little peekaboo right here. Good size game room. So knowing in my mind that we should be able to do something over there, depending on how they frame this out. Let's go this way first. So we have bedroom. What we got over here? Attic. See? Where a media room could be. So we got the attic space for it. Julio special. We got it for it. Good size little room. I think it's an interesting little tuck off for this to be the ensuite. A little bit unique. With a good closet. Hey, I ain't mad at it, brother. With this being a extra space that you could finish out, I'm liking that a lot. I'm liking that a lot. Good size bathroom, but this is a shared kind of combo vibe for this game room that's also right here. Nice, good size room as well. They're just showing you good size closet. So you're not really losing. What's crazy is you're not really losing anything on this one. It's just that they decided to, on the 60-footer, do a 4-bed in the media versus a 5-bed, but you legit seem to have more space. This is like racking my brain, because you seem to have more space upstairs on this one somehow. So we got 1, 2, 3. We had 2 down, right? That's our 5. 2.5 or 3.5 bath, and then you got this in the middle of it that's just like begging to be turned into something. It's almost like this is like a copycat, not a copycat. This is like a fake 50-footer, and there's some builders that'll give you that vibe and feel. Like Weston is one of the biggest catfish. Like, oh, this is a 45-foot plan, but it has the width of like several 50 to 55-foot houses. Weston's probably the biggest catfish of them, where you'll go into a 40 or a 45-footer and it just feels way wider than the average 50-footer. But yeah, I like this plan, man. I think it's a solid plan. I think in this footprint, you're gonna be kind of in that low to upper 5s, right? And so the conversation is gonna be, for what I'm getting over here, yeah, you're gonna be upper 4s to low 5s. Yeah, I mean that's what you're getting. right? But yeah, man, I am a fan of what I saw today, man. I think that this is a great neighborhood, especially for people that are looking at your Austin Points and your George, your Brookwaters, all of those places that are kind of popping out in the Southwest Houston area. For a while, it was kind of like Sugarland had came and gone, and you could come out here and you could do, like I said before, a big mansion, but there wasn't really a good sweet spot for people that wanted a sensible home that wasn't over $1 million and new. You could come and do that and get somewhere in, like your Great Woods and all these kind of places that are over here, kind of the more well-known, older suburbs that popped out, as I like to call them, the blue water suburbs. As you're riding by, you'll see this super blue-green water with the fountains as you kind of like go by these old Sugarland neighborhoods. And so there were a lot of blue water communities that you could come and buy in and be under $1 million, but they were old. And even from my visits to my aunt over 20 years ago, a lot of those suburbs are basically finishing out thin. And so now you got really old houses over there. And if that's not your style, which for a lot of y'all on this channel is really not, you haven't really had a good option that was actually Sugarland. And so I'm excited to say that yes, you can get new construction homes in Sugarland with 2 builders that you guys really enjoy and that I've sold a lot of. I've sold more Pulte than I have Taylor Morrison, just because I would say that Taylor Morrison, again, in the places where I've seen them and they've been kind of in the orbit of neighborhoods that y'all love, they got a lot of competition. They were competing with your Newmarks, your Highlands, your Perrys, your Westons, and all of those builders kind of have and do their own things a little bit more special and a little bit more unique. And so I would say for the opportunities that I've had with Taylor Morrison, it's been great. For the opportunities that I've had with Pulte, it's been great. You give anybody $600,000, they can build you a nice house. And so I'm expecting that to be the same case here. I haven't had any major problems with any of these builders, so would I recommend them? Yes. But the conversation becomes quickly, do you want to be, for the namesake of being in Sugarland, do you want to be here in a smaller boutique community, or do you want to bet on some of the values of some of the larger communities around the corner, like your George, like your Austin Point, like your Brookwater, that are going to be a little bit more amenity heavy and have bigger builder variety, which will ultimately pull your values up over time at a more consistent rate. There's pros and cons everywhere. There's not really a wrong answer, but based on your family strategy, there might be one neighborhood that I recommend over another. However, the only way that we can do that is if you've seen that number on the screen, pick up your phone, you call that number. It's going to send you over to my little AI assistant. They're going to get you over to book a call. You book that call, I sit down, we talk, we go over your family's goals, we get it lined up. Or there's a QR code that you've seen. Scan that QR code. It's going to take you over to the link. You ain't got to talk to the robots. You can just book that appointment whenever you feel that you are ready to have that conversation. We can sit down with your family, take care of that way. For my OGs, watching on the laptop, link's gonna be in the description. Call, text, email, hit me up. I just be chilling, filming for y'all, making sure that y'all see stuff and know what's out there and know that you have options. Like anybody, I'm not trying to push you into any direction ever. I want you to have the options. I want to sit down and you be realistic about what you're willing to pay, the areas that you're willing to be in, the distances you're willing to drive for a house that you claim that you want. I want to give you all those options so we can sit down and get you the best deal possible after we've narrowed some things down. But that is what I'm here for. That is the video for today. Taylor Morrison and Pulte, you came with it, and you are actually in Sugarland. for this one. I never thought I would see the day that we had affordable new construction homes still in Sugar Land. But if you love this area and you're looking on this side of town, you probably want to check out this video here.